An Englishman.
Ooh.
Here we go. Game one coming your way.
But they have been they've been being put on a couple people's radars lately. Wolves have, and it's I'll say it, it's still incredible to see Tadpole playing at an RLCS caliber level. Wolves, they've been in close qualifiers, and they only made, I think, the whole way back in RLCSX. Think about Tadpole. He only made 2 main events in RLCSX, and then they didn't qualify for a single main event this season until the spring split. So to me, it's great to watch former famous for being on Triple Trouble, Tadpole, still playing and really put himself into a position with his team to potentially go to this LAN. And that would be pretty massive for him. His story as a player in Rocket League is as good as some get out there.
Within line of sight right now, I've got a Triple Trouble jersey still hanging. Juicy will score here in the first minute, and that's been a constant theme even in 3v3s. Early goals, we've seen one in just about every single game, and no different here.
That was nice from Juicy. Kind of feigns the pass a little bit because he had the option available, and his approach certainly looked like, at least from the defender's perspective, that a pass was on the table. But he takes the shot instead, and that's going to catch the defense out. A nice play, and I mean, like you said, Juicers, they really just, I wouldn't say surprised. Nah, I mean, it's a surprise. It's surprised as much as all mid did last week with Chronic coming in, but it was the 3v3 from all mid that ended up getting them the qualification. So if Juicers can find a way to prevent Wolves from tying this game up, which they can't now, then maybe they can really put themselves in a solid spot to win, because I do think, Stacks, that they have the advantage in the smaller modes like we're talking about.
One thing that's been great about this event, both in North America and Europe, is it's an opportunity for a lot of players that are very much not household names yet to get under the spotlight and show what they are capable of, and we're seeing that now. I mean, these are players that very much fly under the radar, but we may very well be looking at the future of Rocket League Esports, especially with a team like Juicers here. And then you look at all the opportunities that might be afforded to a player like Moxie, who you will see later on here. And I promise you, he is worth the wait. Here goes Rezi around Parka. Looking for teammates to come up and help out. Nobody did. And now Juicy will send one netward, just kind of a token offensive effort that Hyder easily repels. And Parka going right up against Hyder again. And this will go all the way across. Good defending so far out of Juicers on their half of the field, trying to turn it into offense. They have an opportunity. No Hyder on the pitch. Juicy had to go up over Tadpole, and that meant he couldn't play it out towards Parka. He had a lot of ground to cover. That didn't work out. Here goes Hyder, 2v1, and the 2 wins as Hyder scores.
That's a nice shot by Hyder. Had Juicy in a 1v1, and you see Juicy, he's got the boost. He turns off here to try to read Hyder on this play. And I feel like he could have gotten to that one, but his timing had to be absolutely perfect on that jump. He would have had to read Hyder as he jumped up for that ball. He was just a little slower than Hyder on that play, getting turned around. That was a nice flick by Hyder into the top shelf. But a quick turnaround here for Juicers. They just could not get a quality enough shot on net in the neutral zone, blown apart. As Faris going to try again from his own corner.
Hyder slows him down, but Faris has no problem being forward and trying to play disruptor to kind of launch a counterattack. Faris, good win. Parka looking for heads, not finding any. And now it's Tadpole against Juicy, trying to slow play him. Fortunately, Hyder's right there, but here come Juicers again. Rezi, gotta be careful. He does make the clearance without any hindrance. Now up to the ceiling. Faris gonna hold it. And Rezi out to meet Juicy. Remains only a 2-1 lead, but for how much longer? Tadpole out to Rezi. They've got Hyder downfield, but he's got to peel off.
Well, a touch from Faris is good to get it to Juicy, and he blows right through Hyder on the play. Nice soft touch on defense. Instead of just immediately giving possession away, Wolves did get control of it again. But you like the awareness, at least from Juicers, keeping themselves in the game. Plenty of time left for them to tie it up. They are competitive in this match. I don't think anyone could have expected them not to be in the 3v3. Parka back out to the corner. And they are having difficulty getting those shots downfield. The only player, oh my gosh, Rezi, that was absolutely disgusting. Stacks, look at this. Perfect pop off the ceiling. Lands on the flip reset. What are you gonna do for Reese? Lose. GG, 3-1 Wolves.
That's a play of the day. Oh my gosh.
That was disgusting.
Are you kidding me? And these guys struggled for so long to get into a main event. Here goes Parka. Quick answer. Back within one.
Oh, Juicers definitely needed that goal. Good win here from Juicy. Parka wins the boost and then wins the next touch. And pretty much all you're right about that one. Tadpole couldn't recover, tried to find his way back across the net, but it was all for naught. And just when you thought Wolves were pulling away, a kickoff goal really just puts them right back where they started. And they just want another one. Maybe they get it. Oh! Forced own goal from Tadpole. Faris gets credit. And just like that, Stacks, were tied up.
Tadpole trying to get back to this. He took the best line he could, and all he could do was hit the post. It's in, it's tied, just like that. Brand new ball game with a minute to go. Rezi beaten by Faris, and Wolves right now just look a little snake bitten. Parka, full speed ahead, stopped by Rezi in the corner, and Juicy not wasting any time either. That boost available in the corner, Tadpole will land on it. So Faris now trying to play one up and around that Hyder doesn't really control. And this last 90 seconds of the game has been owned right now by Juicers. Hyder to Tadpole, redirect just off the mark. Trying to recapture some of that 2018 magic as Faris to Parka. Tadpole with the save.
Juicy's right there. Wolves forced to go laterally, but that's a massive win from Hyder on the 50. Wolves able to maintain control for now. Tadpole also avoiding demos in the back end. And his Juicers looking for a way out right now. They still haven't found it. The end of regulation. Wolves have had the control. Tadpole, a nice catch. He's got tons of boost. He sees Parka in the air, and he drills through, but it's saved and taken away. Overtime. Tadpole almost delivering the zero-time banger.
Defense rearing its ugly head here for Wolves, showing why it's so important. 2 quick goals out of Juicers. They almost got another off the overtime kickoff. They scored twice in the span of about 5 seconds to erase a 3-1 deficit. That's going to be heartbreaking for Wolves now, and now they go back to work at their own defensive end. Parka just missed. It was available on the near side. Hyder's got to send that away with Parka right in his grill, and now Hyder cut off by Faris, but that's going to go right to Rezi. This could work out for Wolves. Hyder couldn't get up in time, so he can't take advantage of that opportunity. Tadpole's got to try and bang this away off the back wall, and that was just a little too awkward. Nobody there for the centering pass from Juicy. And our first minute of overtime has been neutral, but Juicers are on the doorstep yet again. Hyder popping one away. That fooled Faris. Tadpole out of the corner. He's got Hyder, but Juicy's in the way. Tadpole on his way back. Nobody to follow. Here comes Parka.
Oh, Parka's got the ceiling. He's also got a lead blocker, but it's taken away. And now Faris is forced back on defense, but it's no problem for Juicers, who have put 10 shots on net. Compare that to the Wolves' 7, and it's been pretty tight. Oh, Juicy just getting in the way of that, but left all by himself is Faris, and it's over his head and into the net. Rezi puts in the game winner in game 1.
Well, Rezi determined to make sure that highlight play from earlier in the game doesn't go to waste. Right place, right time, defense caught out, and the Wolves hang on. 4-3 in game 1. All that comeback for nothing, and now we wait to see, is it even a choice for Juicers? I have to imagine we're going to
you're bringing Moxie out.
Yes, sir.
Moxie
Here
out.
we go.
This is exactly what you brought him into the tournament for. You put him in 1v1 after game 1, you tie up the series, and then you play on. It is a absolute no-brainer for Juicers. Now, Moxie versus Hyder. I think this is going to be really interesting. I thought Johnny really put it the best earlier on, talking about Moxie's gameplay and his seemingly limitless arsenal of different kickoffs to go for. Hyder definitely going to be difficult in that respect as well. I'm curious how the kickoff game goes in this 1v1 and whether that ends up being the true difference maker between these two teams or between these two players. But this is exciting. I don't know if we expected Exotic Moxie to be as close as it was, or even for Exotic to win that game. But that definitely has me looking at Hyder a lot more closely against Moxie here. I'm excited for this 1v1. Big for Juicers if they can take this.
Hyder had a goal in that last game. Moxie did not because he wasn't playing. Now we see Moxie take over. 1v1 coming at you. That means, of course, game 3 will be a twos matchup, and we'll see what the matchups there are. But now all our eyes are on Moxie and Hyder. 1v1, and a critical moment here. Winner could be on match point if Hyder can pull it off.
And Moxie's got initial control. It's a hard flick, keeping Hyder off that play. You see him kind of screen Hyder out, preventing that quick line back to the ball. That allowed Moxie to get back, grab the boost, and he's still in control as Hyder. Not the best first touch. He's going to get punished for it. And that one goes straight in. Hyder getting a little too saucy in the attacking third there, giving up that touch. He had 73, but then you saw him land awkwardly on the sidewall. Couldn't recover in a solid spot, get scored on.
A 12-5 winner earlier on today against Ixo, then dropping one 7-4 at the hands of Exotic. We know there is high score potential here with Moxie as Hyder gonna have to scramble back. This will bounce up and away. That's about as perfect a bounce as you could get. It lets Hyder catch this in stride, and Moxie with the save. Yeah, I got caught between the two. Here goes Moxie right down the middle, 2-0.
And again, Hyder gets the ball ripped away from him. This time, just not a clean catch. If you're gonna be aggressive in that corner, you better be clean with the mechs. And that was not clean from Hyder. He landed on the corner a little oddly. The ball kicks out away from him. Now he's all of a sudden out of position. These are easy punishes for Moxie. The 2 first goals kind of given up almost for free by Hyder. He's gonna flick this one over on the kickoff and ends up winning or Moxie wins the boost. Hyder also flipping towards it. And Moxie just gonna kick that. He just beat Hyder out for the ball again. And Moxie, my goodness, absolutely destroying Hyder right now in the opening minute.
So there's a catch-22 here, right, Jorby? You see this going the way it's going right now with Moxie and Hyder. Wolves got obliterated by Algiri in the 2v2 last round twice. Outscored 19-7 over a pair of 2v2s. They had to get by on their 3v3 prowess, as yes, Moxie adds another. There's no good
nasty
choice. That is sick. There's no good choice for Wolves if they get a choice here. I mean, obviously they're going to want to go back to 3v3s as quickly as possible, but you have to play 2v2 now for game 3. You lose that, sure, you can play 3s, but then you have to imagine Juicers would be favored potentially in either of the other formats.
That's why, with this kind of advantage,
this is an uphill climb.
Yeah. If Moxie wins this, and right now, I mean, Hyder doesn't even look. I mean, yeah, that's where I'm at. I mean, there's 3:41 on the clock.
He has to avoid scoring 20 because then he has to forfeit, right? That's the rule.
Exactly. Oh, he loses this one too. I just don't think you go for that challenge. You're not. You get that kickoff, you push it to the side. It's been standard kickoffs each time for Hyder. Why are you turning up and challenging that ball with barely any boost? I think it's better. You see Moxie up there. You got to turn off that play. You got to find a way to control the ball. Hyder's trying to dive into this ball. He's trying to control aggressively, and Moxie has punished him quite literally every single time. This time, Moxie not even going to go for the kickoff. He's just going to go for control. He's feeling utterly confident in this matchup right now, and Hyder picks up a save. Probably his first save. It's his second, but feels like his first.
Wolves will win the premiership by the time this game ends at this rate. Moxie tried to play through Hyder again. He does. 7-0. There is just something about watching a player that is at the top of their craft go to work. You see it constantly in individual sports, and you're seeing it right now with Moxie. This is as good as it gets.
He's playing with his food, man. How many do you think he gets? We haven't even played half a game, and he's got 7.
That's a great question.
There was, what,
for
16-9 in a pair of 2v2s or whatever? Hyder gets the Brazil, as is the gentleman's agreement in Rocket League. Excellently done, Moxie, letting that one go in for Hyder.
Well, 7 is the best comeback that Johnny Boy has ever seen, so just throwing it out
I know.
there.
It's been mentioned several times now.
It has been mentioned. Hey,
Plenty
Chad,
of time
how
to do
many
it.
goals do you think Moxie scores, Chad? I want to hear, like, I want to read.
Oh, yeah. I'm
We're
setting
gonna
the
get into
over
double
here.
digits.
I'll make it easier for chat. I'm setting the over-under at 12. All right, so say under if you think Moxie's going to get
Pop that
under
into
12.
triple
Say
back.
over if you think he's going to get over 12. I think that's a lot easier than everyone shouting random numbers.
I think I'd just rather see them shout random numbers. That's what they do.
You want to see
anyway.
random numbers? That's fair.
I do.
That's fair. I don't think I understand true chat entertainment then.
You want to see some random numbers? Look at the scoreboard at the end of this game. Here goes Moxie. Again. Flip reset, down to ground. I mean, eventually maybe you just kind of get bored and then you run out of gas, right? This goes cross, Hyder.
Right, you just
Try
want
and
to
get around him. There's two in a row.
All right. Moxie not able to get that goal, or not able to get that block, rather. He had to go for that corner boost. Hyder pulling off on that initial touch, and then the little pop-up freezing Moxie initially. Moxie couldn't get the timing on the jump, and Hyder got the goal. And I see a lot of overs in chat, and Hyder has scored. Hyder scored. Time's running out. I would say that, you know, Moxie hasn't kept up at his current pace of 7 goals per 2 minutes. So, who knows? 12. I might have set the bar a little high, Stacks.
You might have.
I saw some
Hyder.
unders in there.
Again. Looking
Oh.
for another. And he could not pop by. Moxie did win the race to the corner boost, though, so Moxie could be in a spot of trouble. I know. That had a tough time keeping a straight face saying that. Here goes Moxie. Minute 45. Of course, he doesn't need to score
Nice.
anymore at this rate. He's got this game, it would feel like, well in hand, unless Hyder can start rapid firing towards Moxie's net. But that is not going to help matters. Hyder had to pump the brakes, and tough angle that Moxie would just send across. He's just sending Hyder on a wild goose chase at this point.
Yeah, Hyder on that last attempt thought he had more time. Didn't even get a chance to look at Moxie before he got control of the ball again. And yeah, Moxie wasting a lot of time now. This is another. I tell you what, if Hyder puts this in with over a minute left, while definitely more improbable than not, it's definitely possible to come back 5. But that.
Oh my gosh!
Wow! See that perfect straight line bounce?
It was, yes.
Like, I don't think I've seen the ball bounce on a perfect straight line like that across the ramp off a pinch like that. That was funny. There's always some kind of unique bounce eventually after, what, tens of thousands of hours of watching this game. You're going to see something you haven't seen before. Eventually. Hyder getting in touch here. Moxie definitely slowing things down a little bit. And a really clean game for Moxie overall. Opened about as strong as you can, honestly, in the 1v1. And I did expect Hyder to play this a lot more closely, but I just feel like the early over-aggression, taking ill-advised 50s, it's kind of the same problem we saw with Oli against CRR, only to a greater extent, where he just couldn't get control of the ball. This time Moxie misses. Hyder's going to get a pick-me-up goal, although I don't know how much it's going to pick him up. They're going to be happy to move the 2v2 after this.
Oh, yeah, they're going to have... it's really telling that they're going to be happy to move to a format that in their last series they were outscored 19-7. But, yes,
They'll be happy.
They will be glad to...
Maybe less sad is the word I'm
team
looking
together.
for. Yeah.
In that matchup last round, both times, it was Rezi and Hyder, by the way. It was Hyder, of course, winning the 1v1 against Ocelon that got Wolves on top. And then they had to win it in a 3v3 at the end. Hyder is at least going to get some here to make it look respectable. But make no mistake about it, Moxie dominated the first couple of minutes, and that was all he needed. As Hyder scores one more for the road, 7-4, maybe 7-5, if they can get one off the kickoff here. That will send us to a third game. 2's on the horizon between Juicers and Wolves. And we'll see the team of Rezi and Hyder, presumably, unless Tadpole is feeling antsy and wants to get
Tadpole,
involved.
you feeling saucy, Tadpole?
Yeah, maybe.
A saucy Tadpole 2v2. Look, if you got destroyed in previous 2v2s, you got to switch it up a little bit, right? Take the complexity route. Play your
Has
hot
been
hand.
Parka and Faris, both time, or every time they've played 2s so far. Granted, they've only played 2 because both their matches have been sweeps, one way or another. Juicers with the sweep over Luminosity in round 1, then swept into the lower bracket by Semper, as Semper Esports qualified for the LAN later in the summer. Hyder's in, Parka's in with Juicy this time, maybe.
Oh, nope, they're switching out.
Maybe. Maybe it's a fake out.
Again. Little
5,000
lightning
IQ
dance.
play? No, it's Parka, Juicy, and Hyder, Rezi. So the same duos for Wolves. Gonna run it back here, but it's Juicers changing things up. Faris out. Let's see how it works out.
Let's see how Hyder performs more in the 2v2. That kind of aggressive play style can work a lot better in this kind of format.
I wonder if Moxie kind of taking his foot off the gas there at the end and giving
definitely
Hyder a few to get back
Yeah.
is even more of a negative for Juicers going forward here, because Hyder now gets to go back to back. And instead of being, blown away like, 12 or 13 to 1, it's a 7-4. He scored the last 4 in a row.
Yeah, but I don't think Hyder has any disillusions as to like how that game went. Like I don't know if there's any, like, maybe Hyder can use it as a bit of a confidence booster, but I think that it was palpable that Moxie did let his foot off the gas, and so I don't know how much Hyder can take away from that series. Or from that game. I'll definitely give you, he's definitely warm. That's for sure. But as far as how much it's going to help him, I really don't know if it's going to help a whole lot. And if anything, it might hurt that you lost the opening 2 minutes that poorly. And it might have felt like you started to get control near the end. And Moxie isn't on the pitch now, so maybe you're onto something, Stacks, and maybe I'm just being a little too cynical about it. But Hyder going to catch this ball out in the corner.
Hyder trying to dribble around, give Rezi time to get boosted up. And he's having a tough time finding much to work with, as Rezi still on virtually no boost. And he's going to have to try and use what little he's got to send this downfield. And Juicy right there marking him every step of the way. Parka is going to have free possession now. Hyder couldn't catch up to him. Parka against Rezi. Initially saved, slowed down so Hyder could get to it. Shot follow-up is high, and now Hyder popping over Parka. Big break for Wolves there as they hold their ground. But now Rezi has to work all alone with Hyder taking off the pitch, and Rezi nearly did, but Juicy had him all the way.
Locked in the corner. Parka's got a good touch here. And a follow-up touch as well, but saw Hyder there, ready to play defense. Now they've re-kitted on the boost. Juicy's got nothing here. That midfield boost hasn't spawned for him. And Hyder's got to come in with only 20. His teammates got nothing. Rezi picking up that corner boost, but he's way out of the rotation here. Gonna have to wait for that touch to come in. But Juicy takes his time. Juicy actually gets more time, and Hyder takes it away.
Full tank of boost for Parka may go to waste, as he's got to use it all on the defensive end instead of starting a counterattack with it. Now he's taken off the field. Spawns in ball side right underneath Juicy. That's awkward for the Juicers defense, but it works out okay. And here goes Juicy now with Parka waiting way in the back. He'll have to come up now to challenge Rezi. Oh, he peels off. Hyder, no redirect.
That one was going to need some power. You did have a defender in net ready for it, but that could have been a saucy one for Hyder. It's now forced up for this. The Wolves are doing a good job. It's been a pretty stable game so far. They haven't let Juicers do too much with the ball in their own half. Oh, that's a nasty touch from Rezi. Can he get the bump as well? No, Juicy going to come right in, kick the ball away from Hyder. I feel like Wolves have done well enough, Stacks, despite getting outshot. Wolves are starting to count up in the shot category. It was 6-2 shots at one point in Juicers' favor, now 6-4. So things starting to swing in Wolves' favor.
Hyder multiple times has had to make great defensive stops on his way back to the net. Really at the last moment, more often than not. Juicy lob one to the corner, has no teammate in support. And Hyder just kind of flutters to the ground. He doesn't have a lot, now he does. And Parka comes up to challenge him, but it's Rezi now. He's got a full tank, trying to corkscrew his way through. No, Hyder to follow. Big goal in the last minute.
Rezi sets it all up in front. Didn't get the cleanest catch on that air dribble. We saw him go off to the side, but it worked out. He got a poor touch out of Juicy and then chipped Parka just a little bit to affect his path on the ball, and that was enough for Wolves. One breakout play from Rezi, and they've got the lead.
Hyder trying to line up a pinch. We just saw a master do it a moment ago. And Rezi couldn't stop Juicy from tying the game with 45 to go.
Blew right through Hyder in the neutral zone. You see him come up And Rezi is up there as well. He's thinking at least a 50, right? Rezi's gonna get a touch, and Juicy has no boost. So that's a very aggressive posture for Juicy to sit at with an attacker and Rezi on top of each other in the midfield. An interesting choice to just go up there on the 50. If Rezi does get that touch, maybe he can make a play on it, but it's really a low percentage position to be in because you can't really control where that 50 is going to go, and you don't have the boost to correct your position. So they kind of just let that one through, Hyder did. I kept saying Juicy, I meant Hyder on the positioning, as Wolves are the ones who conceded the goal. Now he's going to try to pass it out, but Parker wins the 50. Juicy's winning the race downfield, and there it is, a Juicers lead.
With only 18 seconds left, they've been caught out twice. Been a big change of pace here in this series. That wild shootout in game one, the exhibition put on by Moxie, I guess is the best way to put it, in game two. A low-scoring, grindy affair here in game three. Rezi, torn between going for boost and turning on this. He doesn't have a lot of time. Parka with the clean win. That's gonna do it here in the 2v2. And I have to imagine we have a 3v3 coming when this clock hits 0.
We absolutely do, and that's why this is so good for Juicers to win.
Yep.
You thought Wolves would have taken it, and that would have been big for them, because then Juicers, they would have went straight back to the 1v1. That means game 5 would have been open for a 3v3, which favors Wolves just a little bit. But Juicers played Wolves close in the 3v3. That is not a gimme game at overtime as we go into game 4.
Yeah, they go to overtime in game 1 in the 3v3. There's no good answer for Wolves at this point. They have the choice of 3v3 or 1v1, and I don't think Hyder could have typed 3v3 quick enough. Yes, we will indeed go to threes, where Wolves, hey, that's how they secured the series in their previous matchup over on our sister stream with the game 5 win over Algeria. So now
I think Moxie's just sitting in the stands, just like glaring menacingly over at Hyder.
Yeah.
Do it. Pick it.
Yeah, you remember that look from Cookser at the Season 2 World Championship? That's probably Moxer right now, just like, yep, don't worry.
You keep calling him Moxer, man. You're trying to fuse like Moxie and Hoxer together. You're trying to create like a superior...
Listen, it's a main thing, okay? Like, we don't say soda. We always throw at the end of everything. So,
you and
go
Pop,
get a soda.
You call it soda.
Yeah.
I forget. It's like right below main where they call it Pop.
So you got Moxer, you've got Juicer.
Juicier. Well, Juicier's a word, so you're right on that one.
Yeah, I got one.
Yeah.
Here's Tatter. Juicy, gonna have this one. Faris downfield already, needs the redirect. And Rezi shut the door on him, at least altered the angle. I don't know if he didn't get credit for his save, but he certainly should have, as Tadpole will pop it away. Hyder is there, but so is Faris.
I definitely think that the second touch from Faris would have kind of pinched the ball into the net had Rezi not been there. While he doesn't get credit for the save, we certainly think it was. Already Juicers putting some early pressure here on Wolves. Rezi, he had a breakout moment earlier on. Maybe start looking at Rezi as the player that's got to be the breakout player for Wolves.
Loose ball, kind of deep in the Wolves' end, but sent away. You gotta wonder when the scoring's gonna start. Probably sooner rather than later. Here goes Juicy. Faris going after Tadpole. I think Tadpole put a nice little move on that, sent Faris away, and he's able to avoid the contact, got the stop, ate a demolition for his efforts, but that's a big-time stop from Tadpole and Wolves.
Tadpole sets this up for Rezi as well, but Parker's not letting that one go. And a big miss in the neutral zone gives a wide open net to Faris and Parker. And Juicers get the first goal. We keep talking about how 3v3 needs to be where Wolves win the game, but they can't even hang on to the ball, and Juicers have the lead.
Just under 90 seconds gone by in a game that Wolves have to win or they are eliminated, and Juicers will qualify for the LAN. And of course, they'll also come back tomorrow, play for a big chunk change for the charity of their choice. That's what makes Gamers Without Borders such a special event. This is lobbed in front by Juicy. Faris can't get around Rezi. Tell you what, Rezi and Hyder defensively, they have had their work cut out for them, regardless of the format. They've answered the call quite often, but not often enough. And now I'm sure happy to see Tadpole back in the fray, though he comes in a little bit cold after watching the 1s and 2s matchups. Here goes Juicy now with Rezi there to meet him, and Rezi at least clipped him. If you can't get the ball, get the player. That was expertly done by Rezi.
Still trying to battle for the neutral zone as well. Rezi's up for this one, trying to keep that touch away from Juicy, and a hard shot taken off the bar and out. It was a decent opportunity. You did have defenders in net to avoid, but off the bar, Hyder gonna take control of this one. Hyder, 250s, back over to Rezi, and it's off the post and out again. Faris gets back there in time. Tadpole could not commit. There was no opening for him to. He bounces this one hard off the corner. Another hard hit from Hyder to set Wolves back up on offense, but it's just a hard hit right back down to Juicy. They need something more creative than that. Tadpole, with no boost, has to dump it into the corner, allow Rezi to come in, and while Wolves, they've held the neutral zone, it gets blown apart. Well, Tadpole just shuts it right back down with a hard clear, but they need that consistent pressure stacks. They need the quality opportunity. They got one, but then couldn't get another one as Rezi's gonna take the pass back down. Shot underneath, goal for Hyder, and they tie it up.
I was not expecting this out of Wolves. Oh, what a great three-point play. Over to the left, down in front, pinpoint precision, minute 53 to go. Hyder gives them some new life. And now in a kickoff, Rezi got slowed up just a little bit. Here goes Parka, patiently waiting. Lob one for Faris, and he just missed it high. And now Hyder's gonna have to chase this down against Juicy, who waiting in the net. He'll come out and stop that effort.
Oh, another clear, but taken away by Tadpole. Tadpole having the booming clear from his own corner where it looked like Wolves were about to be put under immense pressure. And now that play right there, a lot of the touches you see Tadpole making are the ones that buy his team time. And Juicy trying to force his way through Tadpole that time, not gonna happen. Hyder finding Rezi on the corner, and it bounces down for Parka. Nothing gonna do there for Rezi, but another win and a redirect. Oh, what a save! That was absolutely disgusting on both ends. I thought Rezi would have caught the defense off guard, but no, somehow they come up with the stop. He's trying to stay on it. Rezi gets down underneath, but a double commit from Wolves. They're able to get back to the 50. Hyder trying to pick this one back up and get around the defense. He's done, but no touch from him, and Parka trying to take the ball back out. Taken away by Tadpole stacks. It looked like Wolves might have had the counter after a crazy back and forth, but look at the net. It's all Juicy all day for Juicers.
Wolves just watching this after that demo by Parka, hoping against all hope that when Juicy put it off the post, he wouldn't have the follow. Good luck with that. 39 seconds left. Parka with the demo that might knock Wolves out of it. Rezi's got other plans, nothing in the tank. Tadpole to follow. It's his first goal of the series, and it ties up game 4.
Not over just yet. The follow-up was that Juicy that just went flung right off the ball to the ceiling, got a little too high on his 50, and as a result, it's a Wolves tying goal right off the kickoff. Just when you thought Juicers were gonna start pushing it against Wolves, they've come right back, and Tadpole puts it across, and Faris is there for the save.
Game 1 went to overtime after Juicers blew up a 3-1 lead. Wolves let it go by with 2 goals in about 5 seconds. Tadpole coming off the side here, trying to meet Faris. Rezi gonna have to wait for Parka's effort with a full tank of boost. He's around 1. No time on the clock. Hyder got a piece. That threw off Faris. Wolves have got to let this go to ground. Surely they do. We go to overtime again in a 3v3 between Juicers and Wolves.
Look, if Wolves win this, they still got to go play Moxie. Like,
yep.
This overtime could be as exciting as you can make it, but you still got to go play Moxie. Parka sets this one up. Faris says, how about not? And just misses the redirect. Cleared out by Wolves, the start of overtime.
Juicy served one up. Rezi looking for Hyder. That's how they scored their first goal. Not to be this time. Rezi beaten by Faris. But now Rezi looking to stop Juicy from coming out of the goal. He was just marking him the whole way. Tadpole now in front, and Parka sends it away.
It's right over Hyder's head in the neutral zone. Oh, Juicy's there. That was so weak. That was the chance for Juicy, Stacks.
It was, but it's turned aside. Wolves have pretty much dominated overtime here. They deserve a goal, and they're not going to get it. Juicy with the save. Rezi on his way back, not trying to do too much. As Parka sends one out and away, Rezi now can drop one for Tadpole for the win, and it's just wide.
So many of these shots are so close, but they're not strong enough. They're not in areas where the defense has to work for the save. How many shots have been hit right into Juicy? Here's Faris now, but it's taken away by Hyder. And then that last shot from Tadpole, it was off the post. It wasn't even on target. They have to find a way to get quality opportunities at the net. Simple pot shots are not going to get it done right now. Faris pops that one across. Juicy going to keep this ball in control. He's using the ceiling to get the reset. He gets bumped off the play, and Wolves have done enough to survive on defense. They've even done a little bit more to create some pressure on offense, but they need more than they've done so far in the blue half. There, Rezi gets deleted, and Wolves got to try again as Hyder pushes the ball downfield.
Well, that was a pretty good Kuxer pinch by an Italian. Not quite as good as the original. Here goes Rezi. Now Tadpole. Second touch to throw off Parka. Down the middle, easily sent away by Hyder. Rezi was on his way in, and Parka nudged him off the play. Parka's physical play has been a real nuisance for Wolves to deal with. It's why Juicers opened up a 2-goal lead. And then this is in! Oh, no!
Moxie gets to rest on the bench because Juicers just clutched up in overtime. Rezi, unfortunate touch, and Juicy gets the